Hello, and welcome to Wyverns and Weirdos, the D&D podcast set in the world of Fierlor. I am your Dungeon Master, Darby, and joining me as always are Laura, playing Bertie, Eddie, playing Anya, Jake, playing Newman, and Zoe, playing Ross. Let's jump into it. So, where we last left off, the party discussed the plans forward, while also taunting Sam and having discussions with Bianca, among other things. And we finished on the party the night before they intended to essentially stealthily storm Kira's workshop again, a bit more prepared than last time, with a hero's feast. And as we left, you were just about to have someone approach you from the Concord with a bundle. And the bundle looks to be sizable. There are two things making up the heft of the bulk, like the bulk of the heft. However, but we will get to that in a moment. I should address for our audio listeners, we are recording this session on Halloween, or the night after Halloween. So we are in costume. So I am dressed as Sam. Laura, did you want to say who you are dressed as?
Hello, I'm dressed as Caius. His battle bee friend. Hope you're having a good time. Please check out the YouTube section to see what we look like.
Yes. Eddie?
I am Tullio, the mighty and powerful god from Road to El Dorado. That is literally the only amount of being able to impersonate him that I can do. Don't expect anything else. I'm here to play Anya.
Jake?
Yar, I am a pirate, as if he was dressed up by his father who forgot it was Halloween the night of. I have a hook made out of newspaper, I have a blunderbuster made out of newspaper, I have a paper hat made out of newspaper, I have an eye patch made out of newspaper, I have an eyeball coming from my socket made out of newspaper. It's incredible. I also have this ring, which is of my long-lost wife. She was a gorilla and her fingers were huge.
This is the first any of us are hearing about the gorilla wife.
No one asked. No one asked.
Congratulations!
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, she was quite annoying. It's good she's gone.
And Zoe.
I'm Ross. I'm not purple because, for anyone who wants to know how the sausage gets made, I finished work 20 minutes ago. But I'm everyone's favorite existential crisis fueled tiefling, baby.
Alright. So, jumping back in. Yeah, so you are handed this bundle. And it's immediately obvious that the bulk of it comes from what appears to be two crossbows. Opening up the bundle and looking at them, you note that there are arcane runes and sigils on the crossbows. One a little bit more elaborate than the other, but both quite elaborate in their own rights. There are also a total of 9 potions and 3 rings. And I am going to... There's also a bit of parchment as a sort of manifest of what everything is. I have put that in the chat, but for reference, it is a ring of regeneration, a ring of shooting stars, a ring of evasion, 2 potions of invisibility, a potion of vitality, 2 potions of speed, 4 potions of mind reading, a +3 crossbow, and a +2 crossbow.
So do they just kind of bring this up in like a chest or something, or how's it presented to us? Or Amelia around the buffet, the fantasy buffet?
Yeah, it's in like a kind of neatly wrapped kind of cloth bundle.
I don't know whether Anya would necessarily bring this up because she can't see these items per se, but maybe when she feels the very healthy health magic feel of the Ring of Regeneration, she's going to kind of put her hand over the items and sort of pick it up and consider it. And she turns to the others and she's like, would anyone mind if I took this?
No, go ahead.
No, absolutely not. Bertie is kind of just like, his like eyes have like expanded a little bit as he's staring at this little pile of like loot. He's just kind of like just schooling his expression while he's doing this. He's like, that's quite a lot. This is just what they chose to give to us. Oh boy, you could resell that for maybe 200 gold, maybe 300 gold. Oh boy. That's basically just what he's saying under his breath. So he's standing there staring. He's kind of shuffles uncomfortably.
Yeah. So for reference, Ring of Regeneration requires attunement, but I believe you have an attunement slot spare. While wearing the ring, you regain 1d6 hit point every 10 minutes, provided you have at least 1 hit point. If you lose a body part, the ring causes the missing part to regrow and return to functionality after 1d6 plus 1 days, if you have at least 1 hit point the entire time. So basically, if you get knocked out at any point, no, you don't get it back. But if you remain conscious, within the week, you'll get that body part back.
Yes, Jake?
Yeah.
Let's say hypothetically you're wearing this ring and your arm gets chopped off. The arm with the ring attached. However, you still have hit points. What happens there? Does it count as not wearing the ring? Or does it just like crawl back?
I would say as long as you got the ring back on within like a round, I would probably allow the magic to carry over because you're still attuned to it.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Well, if no one's gonna object, I'll take this crossbow. I was actually looking for something like this today.
Which one? The +3 or the +2?
I'm greedy. The +3, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of starting to feel bad that we spent that much money on something and we've just gotten given these cool. Hey, Bertie.
Oh no! If I could cross over the twilight. Oh yeah. What is it, Ross?
You sell a lot of this stuff, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you know what this does? And she holds up the ring of shooting stars.
Would Bertie know that? I presume he would.
Roll me an Arcana check. Yeah.
Roll for D&D? Alright. Let's see. Okay. So what's my Arcana? +6. Alright. Cool. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he sold it before. So that is a 24.
Oh yeah, you've had they're very rare items, but you've had one or two come through your store over the past year. While wearing this ring in dim light or darkness, you can cast dancing lights and light from the ring at will. Casting either spell from the ring requires an action. The ring also has 6 charges for the following other properties. It regains 1d6 expended charges daily at dawn. Fairy Fire can expend 1 charge to cast Fairy Fire from the ring. Or Ball Lightning, you can expend 2 charges as an action to create 1 to 4 3-foot diameter spheres of lightning. The more spheres you create, the less powerful each sphere is individually. Each sphere appears in an unoccupied space you can see within 120 feet of you. Spheres last as long as you concentrate, as if concentrating on a spell, up to 1 minute. Each sphere sheds dim light in a 30-foot radius. As a bonus action, you can move each sphere up to 30 feet, but no farther than 120 feet away from you. When a creature other than you comes within 5 feet of a sphere, the sphere discharges lightning at that creature and disappears. That creature must make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes lightning damage based on the number of spheres you created.
Basically, it does a whole bunch of magic shit. It requires attunement, so you gotta kind of be like in tune with it. But yeah, it's like does a bunch of little different magic stuff. Yeah, it can like make lights, like shoot off like lightning. It produces a pretty penny in Durham. I can tell you that now.
Yeah. And one other ability it has, shooting stars. You can expend 1 to 3 charges as an action. For every charge you expend, you launch a glowing mote of light from the ring at a point you can see within 60 feet of you. Each creature within a 15-foot cube originating from that point is showered in sparks and must make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw, taking 5d4 fire damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful one.
Cool.
So it's a few extra light and damage
Bertie
options.
Yes, but it's an achievement item, which most of our characters do not have free. So that's what he tells Ross. You're muted, Zoe.
I'm going to scream. Oh, that's a shame. Super cute though. It reminds me of that robe you used to have.
Yeah, the robe of stars. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, kind of like, because I'm not using it. I could probably sell it as a 2-piece set. Do you reckon? Yeah.
Oh, that would be so cute. Do you think? Have you seen those boots with the stars on them?
Yeah. They look really cool. Yeah, absolutely. I've seen them around Durham a bit. They look so good. Yeah, that'd be
like a 3-piece. Yeah, like a 3-piece set. That would be so cute.
Yeah, I could put that in the front window. That'd be great.
Well, do you want to take this now, or are we setting aside to sell later stuff?
Well, I mean, of course, if people need to use it, then that's this is for the cause. Of course, it doesn't need to be for monetary gain. He's breathing a little more heavily as he's looking at this stuff. He's just like, yeah. Well, yeah.
Ross has a weird little look on her face, and she's just like, oh. Yeah, no, we're not the only ones fighting. We'll set it aside. I think when all is said and done, you could definitely sell this for a pretty penny, and maybe, worn by an adventurer markup.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's half the reason why I took the knighthood after all. Apart from, doing good for the people of Durham and all that. And some notoriety, all that, whatever that word is in common, it helps.
Bertie, Ross leans in a bit. She goes you don't have to explain yourself. I didn't take the knighthood for good reasons either.
Oh, good, cool. Well, that checks. I mean, that's fair. I mean, I'm pretty sure, even though in a way that was true, but even Caius would guard because he he had to. He felt he had to, so, you know. I don't think any of us did, but, you know. It's nice to be part of something.
Yeah. And she will slide the ring back into the pile.
Bertie's
then,
eyes
like-
follow that. The
is-
whole pile.
Ring of Evasion gives you like 3 charges to use the evasion ability of a rogue as a reaction, basically. But again, requires attunement. Other than that, has someone claimed the +2 crossbow yet?
They're
Who's claimed the +3?
two-handed weapons, just to clarify.
Yes.
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 But I can use one.
Yeah.
Cool. Ross will wait and see if anyone else takes it, and if they don't, someone will. Because I imagine she has been having a few glasses of wine at this hero's feast. Her little fingies just start like creeping towards it on the table, and then
Okay,
it will
so-
start
Yeah.
going back
Of
towards
note,
her.
yeah. Of note, you're not proficient with crossbows, so you can still use it. You just don't get to add your proficiency bonus to the.
So just like the other one I just spent 10 grand on?
Yeah.
She pulls it closer. She realizes it's basically the same. She pushes it back.
And what's this one? Ooh, I think this is he touches it with one of his juggling balls. Yeah, no, that's a potion of speed. Ooh, what else have we got here?
Yeah. So
Ooh, I'll take that, and that, and that, and that. As he takes 2 potions of speed, 4 potions of mind reading, and 2 potions of invisibility, and a potion of vitality.
and then there's the potion of mind reading as well.
4 of them, which Newman now has in his possession.
1 potion of mind. Oh, I lined those up wrong. It's 1 potion of mind reading, but 4 potions of supreme healing that I skipped.
Oh.
Yes. Wow.
Ooh.
Yoink, Anya grabbed one of those as well.
Yeah. Sam
One of
would
the
probably.
supreme
Yeah.
healing potions.
Sam would probably suggest that those supreme healing potions probably go with Anya and Newman, because Ross, Bertie, and Sam all have like high level capacity to do healing with their magic.
Newman offers the potions to anyone if they want them. If anyone wants them before I take them, go ahead. I don't really have the need to read minds or anything like that. Would anyone be interested? You can sell it if you want, Bertie.
I mean, you know, if there's stuff left over, of course, you know, I'm always happy to, well, you know, I wouldn't say no.
Going once? Going twice? Sold to Bertie.
Your kid, he grabs it and quickly shoves it in his backpack.
Sold to Bertie. Not
Pleasure
given.
doing business with you.
I'm joking.
Wink.
Newman winks back. You can't see Jake the player doing it, for he is wearing an eye patch and is winking with that eye.
But he just blinks at him and is like, oh, you were well, you know, Newman, I mean, as in the past, you've asked for hugs in service, so there you go. I'm more than happy to cash in.
I'll take a donation. He
Bertie
reciprocates.
hugs it.
And yeah, I guess he'll take the other 2 or 3 potions of superior.
Supreme, not superior.
Supreme. Excelente.
Yeah. So as the feast winds to a close, can everyone roll me 2d10 to determine how many hit points your maximum increases by for the next 24 hours? Will Anya crack the 100? Sam did pretty well. 7 and 8.
8 and 6 for Bertie, so 14, I believe. Temporary hit points.
All right.
10
note.
and a 3 for Anya.
Okay. So Anya was 13. What was Bertie again, sorry?
14.
14. Sam was 15. Ross and Newman?
Newman got a 15, a 10 and a 5.
Okay. And Ross?
12, 9 and a 3.
All right. So of note, these are not temporary hit points. These are improvements to your maximum for the next 24 hours. So you can get them back through healing if you go below. So easiest way to do that in Beyond is you've got a max HP modifier. You plug that number in there in your HP management.
Perfecto. Bertie's at 203 hit points, y'all.
Anya's at 108. She cracked the 100.
Oh, she did
Yeah.
it!
Well done.
For just
Well,
24 hours.
kill.
For just 24 hours.
Just for 24 hours. But, you know.
All
But
right.
her little lack of hit points may or may not be the reason why she nabbed that ring.
Yeah.
Does Anya feel safer now that they know they can't get blasted by a power word kill at any moments?
No,
whatsoever?
because Anya doesn't fear death as much as she probably should. Anya's like, if I die, I die. If I die, then I die, you know? The world will go on without me.
Anya, that's really depressing for the night before we go into combat. I've talked to you about like social skills and stuff.
Look, Ravari, he asked. Newman asked if I was... what was I meant to lie to him? Yes, I feel so much better, Newman. Correct.
It's not.
That's
I'm
the
not
spirit.
I'm not asking you to lie. I'm asking you to maybe consider your phrasing, and potentially the context.
Ravari. And Anya sort of leans forward and puts her hand on Ross's, and she's like, if I put a positive spin on things, I think that all of you would be very worried for my mental well-being, and it would not be the most encouraging thing when we are about to go into battle.
That is true.
You really got me there. You really got me there. I rescind my comment. Continue being nihilistic. That's just Anya, baby.
Anya raises a drink and cheers to that and drinks.
All right. So the feast winds to an end, and not long after, so does the evening, and you all get to take your long rests. I don't know if many of you needed it. I think Bertie was down a little bit, but
Yep.
yeah. So you take your long rests, and are up bright and early. I take it for the mission.
Yuma's going to make a new batch of spells for his juggling balls.
Yep.
Just for clarification, because he used numerous amounts of those juggling balls to identify a lot of things. Let's reset all that. What the hell do we even do today? How do we even start this?
Isn't that always the question?
Well, we either go in the way we did last time, or we take the teleportation circle, seeing as you were able to get to all the sigils.
It's definitely the easiest way. Can't exactly expect them to be expecting us. I don't have any reason to believe that they know that we know their teleportation routes. So I say we do that.
Yeah, so you... Who has access to teleportation circle then?
Sam.
Bertie does. Oh, sorry.
Ooh.
Oh no, Bertie does. I have teleport, but not teleportation circle specifically, but that's probably more relevant in this situation. So.
I think Sam also has it, but if you're willing to use it with a spell slot that you can recharge, then he is happy for you to cast it.
Yeah, so Bertie doesn't look particularly comfortable. He's been very notably quiet when we've been meeting to get ready to set out. He's all kitted up. He's got the shield. He's got all his armor ready in his backpack. But yeah, and he's probably talking with Newman about the what Newman learned from what the sigils would be to get to there. I imagine, because that was our Hot Springs mission. And so he will kind of set that up on the floor while everyone else is kind of just deliberating what they're going to be doing. Yeah, so basically he has and he's very busily setting up on the floor with chalk and a bit of pink ink. He's sort of dipping around and methodically laying out a couple of little gemstones all around in this circle shape with these specific shapes that Newman has told to him, I guess. And then he kind of puts his hands down and kind of just closes his eyes and focuses for a moment. That pulse of magical energy kind of lights up around everything that he's drawn on the ground. And then the circle would, pulse into life.
Okay.
And he kind of stands up and just brushes away a strand of hair from his face, and kind of looks at everyone else, is like, okay, this should work. Is everyone ready?
Anya would have been sitting nearby as the teleportation circle was being made, and just sort of feeling as Bertie did his work. And she pulls herself into a stand, and she wanders over to Bertie and puts a hand on his arm and is just like, good work.
No problem. Well, we'll have to see if it works. I mean, we might step in and then, a leg will appear one side of the continent and the rest of the body in the other. But, I'm sure
Bertie.
it'll work, probably.
Bertie. Good work.
Thanks. We'll see how it goes.
She just squeezes his arm and sort of drops her hand.
Yeah, and he's like, once we get in there, I guess it's up to you guys. I actually haven't been inside there, so I'll be following your rest of yours lead. Yeah, cool. And while he's waiting, he will then also reach into his backpack and take out the moon staff and kind of do it spin around, and he's going to regain that spell slot that he used.
All right.
Yeah.
So the circle flares The five of you find yourself in a small, sort of circular room. A permanent teleportation sigil on the ground. Ahead of you is a wide doorway, and at each of the rounded corners of the room, you see there is a what appear to be a collection of automata, seemingly standing at attention.
Bertie kind of like will freeze the second we step through it, and he'll just like immediately like look over at them and look around at the others and with the earring be like, "Oh, did you guys see these last time?"
No, Ross says over the earring. Do you think they're awake? Then I would like to see if they're awake, please.
How would you like to see if they're awake?
Are their eyes glowing? Are they worried?
Roll me a perception check.
little
Anya
switch
would
says power
also
on.
like to be listening for like the sounds of whirring or like of machinery being turned on, especially because she can't currently see what they're talking about. So she's
Yep.
a wee bit concerned.
Yeah. Ross, your perception check? I'm not even going to get Anya to make this check.
Oh, it would be fun.
I mean, sure, do it. See how insanely high you get.
I know
That was
Anya is absolutely disgusting, but I forgot what Ross's perception was. I rolled an 11. That's a 25.
Yeah,
Anya got a 30.
So, yeah, Ross, you notice this kind of flickering in the eyes as if they're starting up, and Anya, you, with your kind of keen ears, hear this as the automata spring into action. Can I get everyone to roll initiative, please?
Anya would have,
Yeah,
as she was
combat.
hearing them, also in the earrings, been like, they're powering up, but like more worried than that.
Fair. All right.
Pickle time. Oh, also, Darby, I could do this while Bertie does whatever his round move is. But Bertie will also be looking out for the little red stones that he saw
Okay.
last time he was there. Please.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, we'll get
We'll
to
do
that
that
on
one
your
turn. Yeah.
What is your initiative while I am
13. So won't be for a
13.
while.
okay? Newman?
13. It's a very lucky number. Very spooky.
Anya?
Yeah.
16.
And Ross?
Dirty 20?
Wow. Okay. Ross wins initiative.
Cool. I thought I was gonna have more time to read my spells. Have you rolled all your NPCs?
I have.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. Oh, good. That phrasing is perfect for me, actually. Okay, so, let me... This room is not 60 feet big, is it?
No. It's about 30 by 30 at the biggest points.
Okay. So all the creatures are in corners, right?
Yes.
Is there any kind of way I can get into a position where I can see all of them? Or will there be at least one step behind me?
You could probably from where you are turn around and get I guess if you went to like the edge you could probably catch 2 in your peripheral and the other 2 in your, like, general line of sight. So, yeah, definitely possible.
That's getting me too close to a lot of them, though, if this doesn't work.
To be fair, even if it does work, and even if you hadn't moved, you are pretty close to a lot of them, just by the nature of how small this room is.
Okay. Eddie made a very good point, but I don't think it applies for Ross, that she wouldn't carry a mirror with her, unfortunately. That's not quite her vibe.
She wouldn't have anything reflective on her?
She has her...
Like a necklace or something?
Oh!
If
Would
Percy
my
Jackson
Knights of
can
the
do it
Seven
with
badge-
an iPod screen,
Would my
or
Knights
whatever
of the
it
Seven
was.
badge be shiny enough to count as a mirror?
Yeah,
Or
Ross would
polish it?
probably have enough, pride in her appearance that she would make sure that it would.
Okay, cool. She's going to rip that thing off her body. She's going to hold it up in such a way that she can try and get all of them in her in her visuals, using her theater kid periphery skills, in order to try and get as many of them as possible.
So from the center.
From the center, I don't want to...
Yep.
That's as far away from them as we can get without being out of the room. And I would
Yep.
like all of them to start making Wisdom 22 saves, please.
What spell are you casting?
Mass Suggestion, which is for creatures.
Okay, just double checking.
Not
Yep, they
humanoids.
No, yeah. They do have advantage on these, because they do have magic resistance.
That's fine.
That is, what is their chances of getting this, though, are very low. Yeah, nope, none of them make it.
Cool.
They literally needed a nat 20.
Well, that's unfortunate. So Ross is gonna get in this position. She's going to run her fingernails along her tambourine, so there's this sound that's like the jittering of the bells, and then the shills, I think they're called, and then it just becomes this almost sparkling, like that sound of like sparkles, you know, that like sparkler noise as it like comes up, and this energy shoots into her throat, and then as she talks, it's like there's this sparkling energy that shoots out and flows around the room and lands on all these automatons. As she says, "We have no intent to harm you. Let us pass."
All right. That's your turn?
Yeah. As a free action, I would like to get on the earrings and be like, okay, I don't think any of them made it through that. This lasts 24 hours, but it might disappear as soon as I leave the room. We should run very fast now, please.
It is so lucky you went first, because I had every intent to harm them.
So the first of them has its go after you, and just stands bolt upright. Anya, it's your go. How long does suggestion work? It's until the suggestion is...
Until the course of action is completed, or 24 hours
So
from now.
basically until you leave the room as a collective.
Yep. But I figure we can lock the door.
Does that include items as well? What happens if Newman leaves one of his juggling balls in the room?
I mean, once it gets to your turn, you can try that.
Awesome.
Anya.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm just rolling something. With 12 Arcana, would Anya know enough about mass suggestion to know that the suggestion will be completed once they have, like, they will regain their autonomy once the suggestion has been completed?
What level spell is mass suggestion, Zoe? At its lowest level?
6th.
Not with a 12, no.
Cool.
For reference, my general rule of thumb with understanding a spell is generally going to be 10 plus the spell level in an Arcana check.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what Anya would do. She's going to... She'll probably pass through the door or go to the door and sort of hold it open for the others and use her bonus action hide to hide behind the open door, but within the room with the automaton. So like behind there.
So you're basically right next to one of the automatons, but assuming you roll a sufficient stealth check, which I'm pretty sure you will be hidden from the other three.
What's 18 plus 17? I can't do maths, but that's what she
35? got. Yeah, that's...
I'll believe it if you said it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yep, that's it.
All right.
She did that.
Yeah.
But she's holding the door open for the others to go.
Okay. Sam is next. Sam is gonna bolt out. And yeah, that will be his go. Nimble right. Yep. It's gonna stand bolt upright and do nothing. Next is Bertie. So Bertie, we'll say it's probably your bonus action to have a look for that gem. To roll me an I'll allow either a perception or an investigation check. I'll give you the choice there.
Alrighty, thank you. Okay, so what is better? Perception is better, that's a +9. So sorry, just hold a moment. 22.
22. There does seem to be a gem in here, and it does seem to be flashing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. All right. So Bertie sees Anya like opening the door up, and then he sees that gem. And he what's he gonna do? How high up is it?
It is probably
He's a
about
short man.
15 feet up.
Okay. I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the gemstone, please.
All right. Roll to hit.
Alrighty. So 30.
30 definitely hits. Roll the damage.
Cool.
I don't believe gems tend to have a lot of hit points.
Yeah, so it's a D10. Haven't used Eldritch Blast in a while. Sorry, it's only a 2. But that's alright, that's 4. I get 4 Eldritch Blasts.
2 plus a bunch of stuff.
Oh, it's not turning up for me.
You should have bonuses unless you've changed around.
I don't think I do for Eldritch Blast, yeah. I don't think I do for some reason.
Spells. Have you... okay, you must no longer have the invocation that gives you a +5.
Maybe I don't.
Like,
also, D&D Beyond keeps
6,
repeatedly destroying some of the choices I made. So who knows? Anyway, either way, I'll roll again.
I mean, if you came back more melee focused, it would make sense to swap that.
Next one will hit.
That invocation out.
That's possibly a 10, so that's 12 so far. Third one will hit.
So
that's
Just
A
you
7,
unleash this
so
volley
20. Yeah.
of Eldritch Blasts and shatter the gem.
Cool. And then Bertie says in the messenger rings, she might have spotted us. We'll have to keep moving. Be careful. And then he's gonna carefully move out of the room.
Okay. So you step out the door. Actually, roll me a perception check as you're stepping out the door.
Didn't Sam leave as well?
Yeah.
All right. Sam's dead.
Yeah.
So hang on. Perception is fun. So 25.
25. So you see that there is this thing that the others would recognize, the massive gravity corridor. It is this big.
We would have told Bertie about it also. Just FYI.
We're at a different location though as well. So am I stepping straight into one or
you would be stepping straight into this gravity corridor.
Well, again, logically, you could the party could have told me about the gravity room, but I wouldn't be able to see what it looks like.
Could Anya's passive hearing hear Bertie drop?
Yeah,
what?
so
dropping, falling. Assuming that Bertie
I step outside. Yeah.
okay, yeah, so
what direction do I go?
you step outside and you start falling upwards.
Okay.
And as you do so, you see Sam on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Well,
Featherfall.
Anya would have cast it on everyone as soon as she heard Sam.
Not how Featherfall works, unfortunately. It has to specifically be the targets that are falling. I let you get away with it last time because we were out of initiative and you would have been able to coordinate. But Featherfall is a reaction and the target is falling targets.
Not upside down.
Unfortunately.
Okay,
That's
well
fair.
then just Bertie.
Yeah.
I float.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason she was distracted and didn't hear Sam falling.
Yeah.
Because Sam falling did not call out, I guess.
Well, presumably he's also falling
Sam's just
upwards.
like, okay,
he's obviously
fine.
okay,
Yeah.
so he probably doesn't need the feather fall
Yeah.
in the first place. But all right,
Yeah.
but he's got feather fall on him
All
now. So he floats up.
Yeah. All right. Which tab is my encounter tracker in? Where is it? Combat tracker there. Newman, your go.
Sorry, excuse me. Who's left in the room? Just Ross.
Ross, Anya, though you probably wouldn't be able to see Anya because she is hidden behind the door. You would probably be aware that she was by the door.
Is delaying a turn an option?
I mean, it is.
Not preparing an action, but delaying a turn?
Like, just not doing anything with your turn?
Perhaps
Or-
going after someone, but still within this round of initiative.
You are the last of the party in this round of initiative.
Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah.
That is very true. Very, very true. Yeah, okay. Did Newman notice Sam and Bertie?
Roll me a perception check.
Sure. I can do that. 18.
18. You probably noticed. Yeah, you would have noticed them to an extent.
If he has, then Bert's just like, whoa, oh, that's what you hear.
Newman will say over the earrings and that this is the anti-gravity room.
Oh.
And
Bert says over the earrings. He said the previous thing out loud.
yeah, Newman will make his way out the door and I guess start climbing down.
Okay, yeah, you have a climb speed. You can easily.
Or climbing up.
Yeah.
He might also start paying attention to which door was which, because we went through a specific door last time, and I believe our objective here is to further sabotage that giant shock droid and kill Kira. So he
Yeah.
might head towards the room with the giant droid if possible.
Okay.
And
I do want to say we were also looking for other things that might help us defeat Kira. The aim specifically wasn't for us to kill Kira here unless we were discovered.
we're discovered, according to Bertie.
Well,
So
we don't know that. We just know that she might have seen us.
cool. Oh, and was the gem smashing in the room of where we were, or was that
Yes.
outside
Yeah.
the room?
So you would have just seen Bo just like look over probably one of your shoulders and just like blast something in the corner, and then over the earring would be like, I think she might have seen us, and then leave the room and then immediately float upwards.
Cool. Just because he isn't doing much
It's a
this
fun
turn,
visual for my brain.
can he maybe keep an eye out for any gems in this room as well? It's a big room though, so I know it might be a bit tricky, but he's not really doing much this turn.
Okay. Yeah, so you're keeping an eye on like trying to distinguish which room is which, essentially.
Yeah.
All right. Back to the top of initiative as the other two automators kind of stay put. Ross, it is your go.
Anya. Do you know what you're doing?
Yes. I think so.
Good. I'll see you out there.
Careful on your way out.
I heard, and Ross is okay, yep. She's gonna run towards the door, taking her tambourine off her side as she does, and she's gonna like jump out, do a sick flip, and use her tambourine to cast fly on herself in like a shower of sparkles and fly up.
Okay. Just
down.
roll me an acrobatics check at disadvantage to see how sick the flip is. It's a disadvantage because of the unusual gravity situation.
Oh my
Roll for sick flip.
That is the higher was a 16, the lower is a natural 1.
Does she like slam into to Sam?
I mean, if it makes
No.
any difference, that's a 17.
It does, because you don't critical fail or critical succeed on skill checks. So yeah,
But
it's
it is an in combat skill check though. I could nerf it.
it's not as graceful as you would have liked, but you do manage a flip as you go into your flight.
You get her hair in her mouth.
And 3 of the 4 automata kind of shift in their demeanor. As from their perspective, everyone has left the room.
They can't see me.
Yeah. Only one remains placid, the one that is right beside you.
And you made a friend.
Whose go it is. And then it's your go.
Cool. So Anya, very stealthily. I have 2 questions actually. What are the door handles like on the outside of that door? Like are
They
they ring
are-
handles or?
Yeah, they're ring handles.
Cool. I'm just gonna do a couple of things, and you need to tell me if it's too many things. And I can adjust things if certain things need to be actions. So she's going to cast at a 4th level. Is she? There's 2 things that she could. No, she's going to do the more dangerous one. So she's going to stealthily, kind of put her hand like around the door and tie a rope to herself and the door handle.
Okay.
And then she's going to very quickly run through and shut the doors and start rappelling down. And as she does, as she sort of jumps backwards through the doors, pulling them closed, she's going to cast Shatter into the room at a 4th level. So they will all need to make a Constitution save, please.
What is the area of effect
at
on Shatter?
disadvantage. The area of effect is 60 feet.
Yeah, so they're all within it. It actually is a flat roll, funnily enough, because their magic resistance does cancel it out, but they don't have the greatest save.
Sorry, I'm just reading it.
So,
Yeah, a
what's
creature
the
made of
DC again?
inorganic material or metal has disadvantage on this saving throw. It's a DC 19
Okay.
Constitution
Failure.
save.
Failure. Failure. And failure.
Also, any loose rubble or anything in that room is also gonna just throw itself the fuck around.
Yep.
And that's 5d8. So give me 1 second.
Just screw up the little portal that we jumped in through as well. So, continuing Anya's tried and tested history of destroying portals.
I mean, if all goes well, maybe we'll walk out the front door.
So that is 26 points of damage, of thunder
All
damage.
Alright.
Plus whatever bludgeoning you want to throw in for whatever the fuck gets thrown around.
But at that point, you guys don't know. You've gotten through the encounter.
Yeah. And she rappels down. Do you want me to roll like an athletics or something? An acrobatics? Whatever the fuck.
Yeah, probably an athletics for that.
Cool.
Which is that one of the few things you're not actually proficient? Nope, you are proficient in it.
No,
you just don't
she's
have a great
proficient in it.
modifier.
That's 17.
17. Okay, yeah, that's doable. It's actually it should technically be at disadvantage for the reverse gravity.
Would that not be cancelled out by the fact that she has tied a rope to herself and has also experienced the reverse gravity before?
I'll say yes, the DC would probably just be raised, so yeah, you're still fine.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. Alright, so you're all either on the ceiling or comfortably hovering above it, in the case of Ross.
Could feasibly Anya use Gus to untie the rope at the top of the thing? Or is that unfeasible?
Yeah, because you only did like a very hasty knot, I would say yeah, you probably can.
Cool.
With like a bit of gust and a bit of like hugging, you're very easily able to get the rope back.
I'll say once Bertie notices, he's still trying to like he just keeps shaking his head like whoa, like he's just completely disorientated. But once he realizes that that's what Anya's doing, he's going to kind of like move like his sword a little bit, and mage hand, like a black shadowy mage hand's gonna come out from that and like help untie the rope as well. Because I can cast mage hand through the sword. There we go. Dope.
Thanks, Bertie.
Oh, no problem. This is something. Oh boy.
It's pretty wild the first time.
More than a trampoline, that's for sure. Oof.
Anya turns to Sam. How's Sam looking?
Yeah, no, he's fine.
Not that she can see him, but
he is seeming fine.
His hair's super frizzy.
I will
sorry,
say,
Sam, you fell really quietly. I couldn't. A feather.
no,
I'm sorry.
I use dimension door. Fine.
Oh, yes. Of course.
Newman rolls out his carpet and he gestures everyone to get on.
Oh no, we've broken Darby's puzzle.
No.
Just
I mean, we're going
mind,
to
just,
hang on to it.
just
Yeah.
mind yourself when you go through the doorways. You will fall on your head, so just get ready for that.
Oh boy. Oh
But
man.
it's better falling like 1 foot than it is 10 or 20. So
So Bertie will try to. Oh, I'll do it next.
how does the rug fly? Could it just like flip over at the right time?
Yeah.
Cool.
Like it has some maneuverability.
Just depends how badly we do that.
Yeah.
Bertie tries to maneuver his way over to the rug, but I rolled it that one, so he's just like, it looks like a beached wall. Like he's just like flopping around, but in the air, like trying to move around. And he kind of like, he looks like he's trying to move, like trying to correct himself using like his wings or something. But like,
Actually, what would that total be
Yeah.
as a dexterity check?
oh, that's a dex check.
Yeah. 2. So you probably in the process fall off the carpet. So roll me a dexterity saving throw. You're not falling at full height, so
Yeah,
if
just
you
very
hit the ground, you're not
ungainly.
going to take too much damage. But
So that's all right. That's okay because I'm a pale and so I get +8. So 19.
19. Okay, that's just below the save required.
Yeah.
And you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
You're
fair.
not that high up compared to where you were before.
He just kind of like crouches on the silly, like, like hokey old tummy vampires do. He kind of just like looking a bit embarrassed. Like, I'll get used to it.
It's a learning curve. Do you want some help? Ross says, hovering from his perspective completely upside down.
Oh boy, I'm not used to this. Usually, like, any kind of position I can pretty much climb it to, but this is it's been a while. Okay, yeah, cool. No, this is fine. And you kind of like roll over and just grab her hand.
She will help him onto the carpet, but in a very like tender way. But her face is doing like, "Aw, Bertie, aw, your jokes, aw." But she is like, when she sits him down, she gives him like a little shoulder pat, and she's just like, "You good?"
Yeah, it's good. And yeah, but Bertie like clangs onto the rug. He's looks like he's kind of trying to be jokey, but he's not looking happy about this entire situation for obvious reasons that most of you will be able to figure out. But yeah, so he just kind of just like clings to this rug.
Yeah.
I presume it's Dex or strength to hold on to it, Darby.
If you're just holding on, it's fine. It's when you try to maneuver yourself to a different position on the carpet.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Bertie is there.
Yeah.
Cups sat on.
Ross will just be like, "We've got your back. It's all good."
All right.
Give him another little pat.
He kind of like wedges himself while between the carpet and like the big, huge ass shield he's got. Just like, yeah.
All right, we've only got so long before they break down that door. Where are we going next?
Well, I would like to ask you guys what we want to do, because I'm not sure how much you two explored whilst we were sabotaging the robot. Should we be checking everywhere else to see if maybe there's a weakness, maybe some other avenue should we look for, maybe another escape, some kind of advantage in this fight, because by the sounds of it, we're already at a disadvantage.
maybe Sam and I didn't make it far out of the room. So, we can try and maybe go into one that's used a bit less likely to be seen. There's any way we can... I don't know if there's anything like Bertie said that can key Kira off to where we are. No room is safe for too long, so I think we just pick one that maybe doesn't already have people in it, go in, do what we can, get out. Find another room.
And I'm gonna keep looking for those little red things.
What did you do back there, Bertie, by the way? As we float towards the least used door.
Oh, well, okay. Now I don't think they don't give off a magical signal because well, they were there when we came here last time, and you didn't spot it, we didn't hear it. They're like little red gems, and if they're lit up, it might mean that someone's coming. Someone could get there. I don't remember. Caius said his family has them at like his house and stuff like that. It's like security, I guess. So I don't know whether they can see us or if it just tells someone that someone's there. But either way, we got to keep an eye out for it. Just a red gemstone. But yeah, hard to. Yeah.
It's not uncommon for those kinds of things to have their magical auras masked. So,
And
spell
sorry I can't
does
be
that.
of more help for them.
No, that'll be good.
Good
You were
looking
good.
out, Bertie.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'll keep my eye out. I know what they look like, and if I see anything, I'll let you all know.
Yeah, if you want, I can lend you some eyes in the sky.
Well, if you want to get little Zoot Suit out there, as long as he's not going to be out of whack with all the gestures to like the air around as much as he can. The stuff going on.
He makes like a little click, and Zoot Suit pops out from his lap, and then flies onto
It's like
Bertie's
his first
head.
twin. Cute.
No, just I don't know. He kind of he finds that place warm. Give him little scratches sometimes.
I'm gonna make no comment, but they're very cute. Nice to see you again, Zoot Suit.
But yeah, cool. So Zoot Suit's going to assist Bertie with some investigating as
Alright.
we keep on flying towards that door.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll keep an eye out.
So Bertie, as you're kind of looking for those, this time it would be more of an investigation check, with advantage because of Zoot Suit's help.
My buddy, sure thing. So the higher was a 22.
22. So you see that there is another currently flashing one towards what in a regular configuration would be the ceiling, or would be the roof, but gravity is making it the ceiling.
Excellent. So Bertie's probably been kind of leaning on Zoot, so kind of trying to direct him as much as he can without being too verbalizing too much stuff. But then he kind of puts his hand up to everyone because I presume it's Newman. How does Newman move the rug? This is does it just move at Newman's will? Does he think about it? Does the rug just go wherever it feels like?
Oh, he has little tassel controls.
He's just pulling the tassels in what direction he wants to go to. I love that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Darby, but
Yeah, no, that
that's
works.
how this carpet works.
That sounds like very exact science, honestly.
It has a command word to turn on, but then once it's on, then yeah,
Cool.
game.
But he puts his hand up and then turns and looks at me and is like, huh. Ooh. And then he's like, oh, okay, just over there. There's another one up there. I don't know if it's seen us yet. Again, I don't know how these things work. But if we can destroy it or obscure it somehow, that would be great.
Can sorry, excuse me. Can Newman have a look for it and see if he can describe where it is to Anya?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Um,
Bertie will point to Newman and
Yeah.
then
yeah, I would say roll me a, I guess, persuasion check to relay this information.
Would it be something
Accurately,
like
I guess?
persuasion versus insight?
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
I guess for Anya to understand what he
Yeah.
means.
Yeah.
Newman, yeah, sure.
But conversely, like, the better Newman gets, the lower the roll Anya requires.
Okay, cool.
So it's not an opposed roll, but it's So Newman, what did you roll for persuasion?
7.
7. So
only a
Anya,
+1.
you're gonna need a high insight for this.
Well, funny story about that, Darby. Anya rolled a 34.
Yep. So Newman's description is bad.
Yeah.
It makes
Anya,
no
it's
sense.
over there. Any points?
But
Anya just kind of like
Guys,
grabs
you know
his
what it is?
arm.
No, Newman goes to direct him, and then Bertie just points Anya's head.
and
Yeah.
so
Anya,
Bertie
like,
and
let's lose an
Anya.
arrow.
Yeah, Bertie and Anya, the two of you have been working with Newman for long enough to know how to navigate around his weird moments. So roll to hit.
It'd be tricky because it's weird gravity shit.
Mm,
But Anya's
yes,
also a
with,
pro.
with disadvantage because of the
Like,
gravity
Doesn't the
being
arrow just...
strange.
Is it going against the gravity or with the gravity? Like, I feel like because we're sitting on a carpet, it would seem normal. We're just basically shooting
Anya
forward
leans
towards
across
the
to
ceiling.
Anya leans across to Newman, and she's like, "Can you make Zoot Zoot fly up next to it for me, please?"
Yeah, sure, as long as you don't hit him.
Promise.
Alright.
And then once Zoot Zoot is within 5 feet, she lets an arrow loose because she
Alright.
would get advantage.
Makes sense. And it's kind of magical, so she'd probably be able to use that to kind of
I mean-
try to figure out how to ground it, maybe.
That's 21.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that hits.
Do you want me to
Um,
roll damage? Because she would
no.
get her sneak attack.
Yeah. Because I think technically Zoot Zoot being there doesn't give you advantage, but thanks to Tasha's...
Oh, well, I'll
you-
roll a second.
But
that's
thanks,
fine.
what I was going to say is thanks to Tasha's, you can take, as a rogue, steady aim, which you can...
Oh, yeah, I can as well. Yep, I
Yeah,
forgot about
to
that.
give you advantage,
Which she can do as a
which
bonus
cancels
action, so-
out, but Zoot Zoot's presence does mean that you get the sneak attack even on a flat roll.
Cool.
So, handily enough to destroy this gem.
Did I
Okay.
hit?
Um,
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, you
And-
sure did.
Zoot Suit comes back. Just flies up, I guess. Because that was the ceiling, but is now
Yeah.
the floor.
See, I told you I would not hit him.
Thank you. Anyways, I think we're here. Are we at the door yet?
Are we there
yes.
yet? Are we there
Are we
yet?
there yet?
Are we
Yeah.
there yet?
So you're at... It's hard to tell if one particular door is less used than others.
This is something we worked out last time we were here.
Yeah.
We use Newman got, I believe it was
Yeah.
something like a natural 20 or something, and could
Yeah.
see like the scratch marks and the wear and tear of
Yeah.
the bolts and stuff like that. So he would just be going off what he used last time.
Yeah. So you're trying to get to less used rooms, are you?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, going through the less used rooms, it's honestly nothing much exciting in the less used rooms. It's like barracks, storerooms. Yeah, just saw in the chat. Yeah, there's a bathroom in one of them. Like, she has no need for it. Her inventions have no need for it. It's really just there for guests at this point. Like, yeah, the bathroom is certainly like the dustiest, least used room of the entire tower.
How the hell do they give directions to that bathroom, by the way? Someone comes, something like, oh, where's the bathroom? And Kira's like, oh, yes, you just go out that door, down the wall, on the ceiling, over that way, up the wall, and in that door.
Yeah. So, yeah, so all of the less used rooms, nothing too exciting there. Like, you could maybe nick some like bits of like scrap metal and things that you could repurpose into your own inventions and crafts, Newman.
Sure. Any
and, like,
bits of automatons laying around?
Yeah, there's probably like scraps and parts that remain from destroyed automata of various kinds.
Can Newman examine them
He can.
for over a minute? Or
Yes.
up to a minute?
Yeah. So you have enough time. There's a couple of different kinds of parts of automata here. So what are the two things that you want to know about each of them? So there's most of them are of a smaller kind, but then there's one that seems to be like the shoulder piece of a larger automaton. Not quite as big as the Colossus, but definitely quite big.
So is this the two things he's trying to find out?
Yes.
Yes. Can he please grab the AC, and can you please also grab the the attack roll?
Okay. So for the bigger one that you've got the shoulder plate of, the AC is 20. And was to hit, was it?
Yes, the attack roll, I believe, is to
The
hit.
attack roll to hit is a +9.
Ooh.
On the smaller, more standard humanoid sized ones, the AC is 18, and the attack roll is a +4.
Excellent. Cool.
Actually, roll me an investigation check.
Sure. Yeah, that's better. 32.
32. Okay, you find some plating that seems to be done up in a way that suggests that it's probably spare parts or spare plating for Kira's own current form. From everything you've heard of her.
Cool. Newman will take the time on visiting these many doors to also inspect that. And for those, he'll probably go something different, actually. I'm curious what disarm DC means. Not what it is, just what it means.
Okay, so disarm DC is mostly for traps and the like. So it's the AC. It is the DC of say a thieves' tools check or a sleight of hand check to actually disarm it.
Cool. So he would like to find out AC.
Yeah.
And hit points.
Okay. The AC of this form, based on what you can tell from this armor, is 21. and it can take quite a beating. In mechanical terms, 410 hit points.
That's a fair bit. Alright, cool. So Newman relays this information to everyone over the earrings. He'll mention how that the constructs, whilst the big ones pack a punch, the small ones don't necessarily do, and are a lot easier to hit. Kira, on the other hand, is both really hard to hit, and if you hit them, they can take a bit of a beating as well. On a scale, he would describe it somewhere to the significance of, well, basically meaning the same thing as 418 or whatever it was. So
410.
Yeah, 410.
So, like, if my life was less than 100 on this scale, say like a 95, she would be 4 times me.
Yeah,
Oh
sure.
boy, 4
Health-wise.
onions. That's what a wonderful thing, but also not a very good thing considering this is a bad person.
And just to clarify, I believe this is what Kira is currently wearing, just from what I've heard of them.
I would want to hope
it-
that she is not
this-
currently wearing this plating, or we have a bigger problem on our hands than.
It's different from the one we sabotaged.
So this is like a spare pair of like
believe.
underwear or something like this, basically, like for a robot person, yeah?
More like a spare shirt, I imagine.
Ooh, okay. Interesting look. Also, because I think in this room the gravity won't have been whack. So, but the second that happened, Bertie's just been like trying to like just madly like trying to fix his hair because it would just be completely out. And he's just like braiding it in a little French braid that he has a lot more tightly into like just little pigtails. Because he has like a really carefully like pinned up bun that will just be like completely out. Someone like Anya who has, you know, appropriate like, braids for her ethnicity and stuff like that. Perfect. But Bertie is so he's very carefully trying to just make himself look more presentable for no one basically. While he's just doing this. It's like
Anya
cool.
lets out a quiet sigh as the joke she made does not land on anyone.
Sorry. Bertie is only interested in many things, but yeah.
No, it checks out for the situation.
Yeah. Everyone's just like, oh, cool door.
Alright.
Good job, man.
How many doors remain apart from the one we used last time to go into the room with the construct?
So there's still Kira's office you have not been in, and then 5 rooms that you work that from your previous trip you work out are like basically docking points to more closely work on different points of the Colossus. So they're less rooms as they are kind of outlooks.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is still Kira's personal study.
And have we come across any more of these gems as well, by the way?
You have, but you've been summarily been able to like take them out.
Awesome. Cool. Well, it looks like we've only got 2 more rooms to go. Logically speaking, Kira's in one of the 2 if they're here.
So far, so good, I guess.
Do we
We'll
want to
just-
go with somewhere familiar, or do we want to go somewhere new?
If Kira isn't in her office, now would be the best time for us to gather as much information as we can, no?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
You might be able to learn some more about it, Newman. And on top of that, we might be able to sabotage it a bit more. Nothing in our intel, from what I was told, indicates that Kira's wearing it yet. So.
All right. Well, do we have a way we want to approach this? Just go in guns blazing, so to speak, or
I mean, I guess ideally it'd be good to make sure that she's not likely to just be stealthy like, I guess. That's not my forte, but any kind of like there'd be like some shadows. How well lit is everywhere, Darby? I presume quite well lit.
Reasonably well lit. Yeah.
Cool. But he kind of looks around, he's like, if I can get shadows, I can do something about it, but that's about it.
If
The rest of you'll sneakier.
If we maybe sneak in through one of the ports used to get closer into the automaton, we might, if she is in there, as long as she's not in it, we might be able to get closer, and also that means we would have the shadows inherent in walking through a tunnel before we come in. We might be able to blend in a bit better.
Okay, will we be able to get through? So, there was the workshop, and then we were talking about checking out the where she does a business. Yeah, no, not there. And he points to the toilet. The business.
the door we're going for right now?
Okay, cool.
Alright, cool. Well, we go up to the door then.
Yeah. So this is the study.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're able to enter the study pretty easily. Anya, you hear a subtle hissing noise that seems to be emanating from various points within the room. You're not quite able to place it.
Oh, snakes.
It's like a weird sort of hybrid between like a snake's hiss and mechanical whirring.
Something's off. There's a hissing, like the letting out of air, but more solid. Be wary.
Newman might do a quick look for traps.
All right. Roll an investigation check, please.
Mm-hmm. Or some form of triggering mechanism. 35.
35. Okay. So, you don't find any traps, but what you do find in your searching are various kind of hidey holes, big enough for almost like a cobra. And as you find one of them, you see a mechanical constructed iron cobra that springs out at you. Can I get everyone to roll initiative? I have little...
You're saying this, Darby, but that is a friend, and I'm excited.
Yeah. Good thing we have someone to turn it into a friend also.
Yes, let's disable it and then you can make it into friend. It'll be great.
Yeah, let's just suggest our way out of this whole area.
I have a second 6th level spell slot now.
Okay. Newman, what is your initiative?
I got rid of it. I rolled a 3 plus 5 is 8.
Oof. Okay, Anya?
Anya rolled a dirty 20, which might be the highest she's ever rolled initiative.
Okay, Ross?
That's a solid 13, buddy.
Ooh. And Bertie?
25.
Woo! Alright, so Bertie, you have handily won initiative.
Excellent. Okay.
So there is
quick glance around the
currently-
study.
Yes. So you do notice, like, now that one has sprung out, there are 3 others at various points in the room, kind of at different points. One is, it's on top of the fireplace on the battle map, but it's actually coming from within the fireplace.
Okay.
There's
Excellent.
one at the desk. There is one in the corner right by Ross. And yeah, and then there is the one by Newman.
All
So
right.
what would you like to do?
What I would like to do is I am going to Betty kind of looks around, is like, okay, be careful everyone, and which he says out loud quietly, but and then he's going to bop it. Because
All
that's
right.
what we're gonna see what it does.
Yeah.
So I forgot to mention, so Bertie would have charged up his sword.
Yep.
I'm gonna say with psychic energy.
Okay.
Because he wouldn't have used radiant because he's worried about the thing that happened last time he came here. So I'll call that now. And so now I'm gonna try and attack the snake, the fun little friend.
All right.
So that is okay. Oh yeah. All right. So a 22 to hit.
22 handily hits.
Cool. So that's 1d8. 2 plus 11, so 13, and then I get, I believe, 5d8 of psychic damage.
Okay.
So it's
11
yes.
plus your psychic damage.
all right. So that's 5
Yeah.
plus 4, so 9. Plus another 5, so 14. Plus 7. So 21, and that's the fourth one is a 2. So 23, and one more, I believe,
Yes.
which is a 3. 26 points of psychic damage.
26. Okay. It is incredibly damaged from that, but it is still standing.
Okay.
Or still slithering, I guess.
Cool. Excellent. And I attack again.
All right.
I forgot. It's been a little week or so since I played Bertie. Oh, okay. That snake's dead. It's a nat 20.
Yep. It literally had 8 hit points left.
Cool. So instead of that, what I'm gonna do is Bertie stabs into it. It's kind of very tense. Sees what happens, and then I know I hit it with my sword, but he's just gonna bash it down into the ground with the shield.
Yeah.
With his other hand.
I almost imagine it's bopping it down in a way that almost allows the sword to just slice through.
Yeah.
Almost like using the sword and the shield almost like a guillotine.
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
precisely. Which
All
again probably makes a little bit of noise, but that's cool. And then that's Bertie's turn.
Yeah. All right, Anya, it is your go.
So remind me whereabouts the remaining snakes are situated. Are there any near Anya, and also are there any near her allies?
There are not
specifically?
any near Anya in the grand scheme of things. There is one that's not near any of the allies, that is by the desk in the opposite corner to where Newman is. There is one that is in the process of leaping out of its hidey hole at Newman, and there is one right by Ross as well.
Perfect. That's what I want to hear. So she's going to, using her ascended wild bow, she's going to take one shot and hit the one jumping out at Newman. She'll use her first shot to hit the one jumping out at Rivari, actually, just because Newman has his fancy shiny armor. So that would be a... That rolled off. Sorry, I've got the abilities open, which means I can't see what the roll is. So that is a 27 to hit.
Yeah, that certainly hits.
Cool. I will roll to see if the second one hits as well, and then I'll do damage separately for both of them, just because it's a lot of getting out dice. So she'll then swing around and use the second arrow with her bonus action, to hit the one jumping out at Newman, which that is a 28 to hit, so I'm assuming that will hit.
Yep.
She doesn't get sneak attack on both of them, does she? But she does get the radiant damage.
Yes.
Cool. So the first one, so there's a 1d8 plus 2d10 plus 6d6. Apologies, I probably could have started getting these out a little bit earlier. 3, 4, 5. I knew we were going into combat, so this one's on me.
Very good.
These are pretty juicy. So that's. Do you want me to break up damage? Because there's piercing, radiant, and
no, you
piercing?
don't. No, you don't deal anything that it has any differences to.
30, 40, 48 points of damage.
So this is for the one by Ross?
By Ross, yeah.
Alright, yeah, that arrow just goes straight through it and it collapses.
Wonderful. And then the one by Newman. Oh, that's pretty great. 24 points of damage.
24 points. So it's shaky, but it's still physically active.
And that's the end of her turn.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is now the cobra that's sleeping out at Newman's turn. It is going to drop one of my d20s. I'll use another one and grab that later. It is going to bite at Newman to start with. That is a 19.
Nah.
No. Yeah, so it chomps onto your armor and it cannot pierce it at all.
Oh yeah, Newman shakes it off.
Yeah. Sam's go. I think he's just going to...
Sam looked pissed off at Anya that she took the one attacking Ross.
No, he understands the strategy behind it.
Yeah. She's
he
cutting
could've
his
done a
proverbial
romantic thing.
protection grass.
Yeah, he is going to use his bracer of flying daggers to make 2 ranged dagger attacks. That is... I was going to say a miss, but these do have a low AC. Nope. The first one misses. Second one hits. So that is going to be not a lot. He's not really a ranged combatant, but he doesn't want to stymie up the room. That is 3 plus 3 plus 3, so 6 points of damage. He is not built for range. But he's also wanting to save his more powerful resources. Ross, it's your go.
Me! Well, luckily, Darby, you know my favorite question to ask you? I don't have to ask it. So there's the one that's not damaged at all and the one that's attacking Newman, but whiffed it.
Yeah. The one that you are saying isn't damaged at all has taken a little bit of damage from one of Sam's daggers.
Oh, yep, cool.
Yeah.
Well, Ross is gonna look at Sam, and then over the earrings is gonna be like, cute. This is how you do it, babe. And then she's gonna cast Heat Metal on the snake.
Okay. Yeah, it's just...
It can't drop itself.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. All right. So it takes damage on your turn and then on each subsequent turn of yours.
Yes,
am I
as a
remembering that
bonus
correct?
action.
Yes. You have to proc it as a bonus action. Good.
Yeah, so I have to use
It's not
a
quite as
bonus-
broken as I remembered.
That's fine. So that's 2d8 damage, because I'm only casting it at base level. That's 9 points of damage.
All right.
Altogether, I rolled an 8 and a 1, the two extremes.
Yeah.
of D8.
Yeah. Ultimately, not all that much more damage than Sam.
Yeah. Also, like, if if Sam's into getting bullied a little bit, he can take that as bardic inspiration if he wants.
He's not.
He could have.
He definitely is.
I'm kidding.
He definitely is.
Okay. Newman, it is your go.
So it just
There's a
tried to bite
cobra
me.
basically at your feet that just tried to bite you.
Yeah. Is it like readying for another bite?
Yeah.
Cool. I shove an immovable rod down its mouth. And activate.
Okay. We'll call this an improvised weapon attack, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So roll me a strength check
Mm-hmm.
equivalent to.
What? That's not a 2. D&D Beyond just gave me a cocked die. Nah, I'm going lucky for that one. It was an 18 and it said it was a 2. Now we're going again. It got another 2.
So total is
5.
5. Yeah, that misses.
That's not fun.
Because that's no, you don't. You do technically get an offhand attack with a rapier though. If you want to use that.
Fine. I try and stab it through the head so that I can pin it to the ground.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Sure. I will not use sneak attack if that is an option.
Sure.
So for this one, it would be my vicious rapier is missing. I will just use this instead. Oh no, there it is. Now you roll an 18. That's a 30 to hit.
Okay, that certainly hits.
Cool.
Its AC is 13.
Yep. Cool. Is it pinned to the ground?
Yeah. How much damage do you do?
Yeah, 2.
2. Yeah, so it's pinned to the ground. Not in a way that it's going to be particularly difficult for it to get out. But it might do some damage to itself in the process. But yeah, it's gonna find it difficult to move.
Cool. Newman stares at it intimidatingly to not move, or it gonna die.
Okay. Next is the Iron Cobra at the desks go. It is going to leap at. That is Ross I rolled for, I believe.
At
and
disadvantage.
For
Heat metal.
yes, okay. So
Sorry.
that is an 11, so I believe that misses.
It absolutely does, even before Anya forced me into armor.
Okay. Yeah, that's its go. It is by your feet. It is Bertie's go.
Okay, how many snake friends are left?
2. The one by Newman and the one that is now by Ross.
Cool. I'm gonna punt that snake next to Ross, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. I'm so glad this is being wasted on snake boys. Another nat 20.
I mean, this one, is it possible for you to do less than 30 damage?
I mean, probably not, to be honest, at this point.
What
Yeah,
is
no.
No. Okay, so you just slash into this cobra and it just falls limp.
Excellent. Cool. And then yeah, Bertie looks at him. He's like, you got that one?
Probably not.
Need help?
It's fine.
Okay.
I've got it.
And Bertie instead turns around and he's gonna start looking around the room to make sure there's no gemstones in this room.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check.
Alrighty. That's a nat 1.
Nat 1.
So that's still a 7, but yeah.
Yeah, 7's not great as an investigation check. Yeah, you have
Was
no
that with
idea.
advantage? With Zoot?
No. Oh, if Zoot's near me, I can.
Because
Zoot's
we're in
still
combat,
person.
Zoot would have to have been
That's
using the
fair.
help action.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right, yeah.
So probably what I imagine happens then is that Bertie attacks the little cobra who was about to attack Ross. Asking him that question, and after he's stabbed that little cobra, it probably just whirs and just explodes, and a couple of little bits of bolts. Everybody's like, oh.
All right.
And that's what happens.
Anya, it is your go.
So after Anya's like, it's all right, I've got it. She knocks an arrow and just lets it loose into the poor little guy.
Okay, that's a hit.
And that's definitely going to be a hit because that's a 29.
Yep.
And because
More
Newman
than
is
double its AC.
yeah, because Newman's
Yeah.
right there.
Sneak attack.
Sneak attack.
Yeah.
So
I
wanna
honestly
roll
don't.
it. Don't tell
think-
me not to roll it. I want to roll it.
No.
It's fine.
I mean, you might roll low. I was just gonna say, it may actually be impossible for any of you guys to miss outside of Newman's thing with the improvised weapon. But anything
so
you're proficient with, I think you've all got at least a 13 plus 13. I'm sure.
that's 41 points of damage.
Yeah, that is again. Arrow goes straight through the cobra. And we are out of initiative.
Cool. Newman collects all of the snake pieces and puts it in the back holding.
Okay. And you basically have, at least for the time being, the office all to yourselves.
We have a little look around.
I look around for gems.
Yeah, have we already established whether there's a security gem in the room?
You have not at this
No,
point.
Arya, but he didn't.
Sorry,
know.
Anya
anyone-
mentions it
Yeah.
to
So Newman,
Newman.
as you mentioned, make an investigation check.
27?
You should be 27. Yep, there is a gem right above the fireplace. Pretty much right behind where Bertie was when he was having a look around.
He's a short man. Newman's a very tall man.
Yeah.
That's a 21 to hit.
Yeah. And the amount of damage you do, yeah, easily able to shatter the gem.
Gone. Excellent. What does this little office look like, Darby?
So it is fairly small, all things considered. It has a desk in the corner with a chair going with it, bookcase next to the desk, and then in the opposite corner a fireplace. It's otherwise fairly sparsely populated. You imagine that she maybe occasionally brings in different components and stuff, but most of the time it's just as empty as it is now. There are a collection of books on the bookshelf and some notes on the desk.
Well, Bertie's gonna have a little look through those. He specifically the others, someone like Ross or Newman or Sam or even Anya, presumably, but then again, letters, lesser and braille, a little bit difficult. But Bertie specifically is only really looking at, like, he's still distracted. He's just looking at, like, skimming for information about, like, why they take Caius.
Okay.
But yeah, so he's just looking at that. That's what he's looking at. Other people can have a little hunt for proper information that we need. But again, Bertie's thinking a lot of things about the last time he was here.
There. All right. Roll me an investigation check as you're looking through the notes.
Sure. Okay, so that is a 17.
17. Okay, so you don't find anything in particular on why they took Caius, but you do find something that looks like it would be very handy coming up. You find... You don't understand them yourself, but you do find notes, design notes on the construct, the colossal figure.
Newman.
Newman opens all of his eyes very, very wide as he rushes over. What are these? What have you got? Present for me?
Well, I don't know. But it looks like big brain stuff. It looks like your kind of nerd shit. Not romance shit, but like, you know, the nerd shit. He like shows it, turns around, flips the page around dramatically, and shows him like the schematics.
Yeah, that's nerd shit. Thank you.
Cool.
I'll take that off your hands.
Good. It's no expense
just-
ledger, so I don't know jack shit about this. But yeah, excellent. Go to town.
All right.
I mean, if it's worth anything, this is worth a lot of money, probably.
Really? But he
Oh
like
yeah,
digs
this is a
further.
one of a kind, by the looks of it, blueprint.
True. And if we kill Kira, then it can be like a souvenir, like those weird people that like, you know, like collect memorabilia about like, you know, weird like murderers or like revenants for like whatever. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I was thinking more like coins, like maybe a coin that says "I was here" or "You visited Kira's workshop" or something. But like, yeah, that
True.
too.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Well, I'll leave that in your capable furry little hands.
Cool. Newman goes to town.
Okay.
He reads the heck out of this nerd shit.
Yeah, roll me an Arcana check.
18.
18. Okay, so you get most of the standard stuff off of this. Like, it's very dense, hard to hit, tough. It's standard construct stuff. You find out two kind of magical properties that are enchanted into it. One of them is that it cannot have its form altered in any way. The other is that, and you're not sure what this means with an 18, but it has sort of an arcane absorption system to help power it. So
Cool.
it can seemingly convert certain kinds of energy into energy that it can use to sustain itself.
Could Newman maybe go ask the assistance of Ross with the stuff he doesn't understand, possibly at disadvantage?
Yeah.
Cool.
Ross, roll me an Arcana check at... Yeah, I'd say you don't need disadvantage because you are an Artificer Initiate.
I am.
So you
I
know a little
will-
bit about this stuff.
I will also say I burned a point of lucky just for Ross to investigate the room in general to find anything interesting. She is looking for anything about Kira, Taven, or schematics to where Taven lives.
Yeah.
A list of all his weaknesses.
what
And
was-
I got a 25 on that, but I'll roll
25.
the Arcana and we can handle that.
Yeah. While you're rolling that, yeah, there's nothing much in that regard. There's various schematics to inventions, but not so much on other Magisters' lairs.
Yeah. Okay.
And your Arcana check.
That was a natural 2. Making
Yeah.
it a 15.
Ooh. Damn.
Okay. Like, you don't know, like, you know sometimes that, like electricity and heat are often, like, considered, power sources for certain things. That might be part of it. You don't know.
There is one conclusion I'm gonna draw, because I
Sure.
feel like it's something she would draw. Where she just kind of looks at Newman and she's kind of like, it's. Sorry, you went robot for me for a second. What was that?
I said nothing.
Okay. She looks at Newman and she's like, the closest I can think is, you know how sometimes when Bertie casts Counterspell, it's like he gives energy back to himself?
Yeah.
It's sort of like that, but she doesn't have to use a Counterspell. It's just passive to certain kinds of damage. Maybe heat or electricity, but without further knowledge, I only know as much about this stuff as you taught me, and I just know what Bertie can do, and that's adjacent, I think.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, actually. Because, yeah, I was reading earlier and said it had some form of absorption. So, I would assume that we probably shouldn't be using electricity or fire against this thing.
Yep.
And for what it's worth as well, we can't alter its form. So we can't make it bigger, smaller, we can't turn it into a chicken. That kind of stuff, so...
Throws my plan right out the window.
At this point, Anya, you hear the door open. And you all hear a robotic, somewhat feminine voice say, "Did none of your parents ever tell you not to sneak around your hosts' houses when they're not around?
My parents are
Very
dead.
bad manners." And that's where we're going to leave it for this week. As
In
the
our
hulking
defense.
form of Kira Embren takes up the entire ass doorway. I'll leave you quickly on the image of the field with her mini on it.
Ooh, that's a big lady.
Yeah.
That's bigger than Rook.
Does the shoulder piece look familiar?
I can't see her. She's not worried.
Shoulder piece does not. Shoulder piece does not. This is different to.
Ooh, interesting. Oh,
So
see
the
you
front,
next week,
the front
everyone.
panel was the one that was a replacement for her. But yes. See you next week, folks.
Yeah.
Sorry for
Wish us
listening.
luck. Sorry for listening.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
All right.
Darby, I'm sorry to stop
Yeah.
you here. You vanished.
Yeah, I'm
Turned
just
into
trying
a
to.
table, and then a tripod, And now you're a picture.
I'm very
Okay.
worried that this has messed with your layouts. Are the layouts?
It hasn't. No, I was trying to do things in a way that didn't mess with my layouts. Hopefully this doesn't. I've taken down time code, so.
I was going to say
let's see.
keep this in because it's kind
Yeah.
of funny.
Maybe it's the stinger. Maybe
Dolly's
it's the
a
Just
stinger.
all of us simultaneously panicking.
Share screen.